Jun Xi and Ye Ye's playful days. Jun Xi loved spending time with his Ye Ye. Every day was an adventure when they were together, filled with giggles and games. One of Jun Xi's favorite games was Wolf in Wardrobe. He would squeeze himself inside the big, dark wardrobe, giggling softly. Then Yi Yi would creep closer, making funny growling noises. Little pig, let me in, he'd rumble, knocking on the wardrobe door. Jun Xi would burst out, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin, and they would both laugh until their bellies ached from so much fun. Another day, when the sun was shining too brightly for hiding games, they would play book dominoes on the living room floor. Yi would help, steadying the wobbly books, his fingers big and gentle next to Jun Xi's small ones, making sure each book stood just right. With a final push from Jun Xi, whoosh, the books would tumble one after another, creating a rainbow wave across the floor. But Jun Xi's absolute favorite game, the one that made Yi Yi laugh the loudest, was belly boxing. Yi would sit in his favorite armchair, his belly soft and round, perfect for little gentle taps. Oof! A jab, ooh! A hook, he'd exclaim, pretending to be surprised. Jun Xi loved his Yi Yi, and Yi Yi loved Jun Xi. Every game, every laugh, every shared moment made their bond stronger and brighter, like a warm, cozy hug. Jun Xi and the Blue Pea Flowers. Jun Xi loved his Nai more than anything. Every morning, when the sun peeked through his window, he knew a special day was about to begin, especially if Nai was there. Sometimes, Nai would make the most delicious sausage breakfast, sizzling and golden. She'd pack his bag, give him a big hug, and walk him all the way to kindergarten, where adventures waited. On his way to kindergarten, Jun Xi would often spot something magical. Tucked away in a little garden patch, vibrant blue pea flowers bloomed, like tiny blue butterflies resting on green leaves. Jun Xi knew just how much Nai loved these flowers. They reminded him of her special blue pea flower rice, his absolute favorite. So he would carefully pick a few, holding them gently in his small hand. When he got home, he'd rush to Nai, his eyes sparkling. "For you, Nai," he'd say, offering his precious blue treasures. Nai would smile, her eyes twinkling, and thank him with a warm hug. Nai knew exactly what to do with them. Soon the kitchen would fill with a wonderful aroma as she cooked the rice, turning it a beautiful, magical shade of blue. It was a secret recipe, just for Jun Xi. All day at kindergarten, Jun Xi would think about Nai's cooking. Would it be the blue pea flour rice today? Or something else delicious? His tummy would rumble just thinking about it. Finally, when the school day was done, Jun Xi would wait by the gate, his heart thumping with excitement. And then he'd see her, Nai, with her kind smile, coming to pick him up. He'd run as fast as his little legs could carry him, straight into her arms. And before he could even say hello, the first words out of his mouth would always be, "What did you cook today?" Nai would chuckle, a warm, loving sound. Sometimes it was blue pea flour rice, sometimes something new, but it was always made with love, and always, always delicious. Jun Xi knew he was the luckiest boy in the world. Jun Xi's special calls. Jun Xi loved to play police and thief with his daddy. "Freeze, thief!" he would shout, chasing his daddy around the living room. When it was time for the police to arrive, Jun Xi would hold his hand to his ear like a phone. "Hello, police? We need help," he'd say. But no one ever answered. Stupid policeman. Jun Xi would sigh, feeling a little bit sad that his game wasn't quite real. His daddy, Dick, watched Jun Xi's imaginary calls. He knew Jun Xi wished for a real way to talk during their adventures. One evening, Daddy Dick came home with a special surprise hidden behind his back. "Ta-da!" he announced, pulling out two shiny, colorful walkie-talkies. Jun Xi's eyes grew wide with excitement. Daddy Dick showed Jun Xi how to press the button and speak. "Over and out," he said, making Jun Xi giggle. The next day, their game of police and thief was better than ever. "Police to base, I see the thief," Jun Xi whispered into his walkie-talkie. "Copy that, officer. On my way," Daddy Dick's voice crackled back, clear as day. No more stupid policemen for Jun Xi. Now his calls always got an answer, and their games were full of real adventure and laughter. Oscar's big ride. Oscar had a brand new bicycle, shiny blue and ready for adventure. He couldn't wait to zoom around the park. But learning to ride wasn't as easy as it looked. "Whoa," he wobbled, nearly tipping over. "Safety first, my little adventurer," said his mom, Wendy, with a warm smile. She carefully fastened his new blue helmet. Wendy held onto the back of the seat. "Push with your feet, Oscar. Look straight ahead," she encouraged. Oscar pushed and pushed. Sometimes he wobbled, sometimes he steered too much. It felt like he would never get it right. "Don't give up, sweetie," Wendy cheered. "Every little wobble is a step closer to riding free." They practiced every afternoon. Push, glide, balance. Push, glide, balance. Oscar focused hard. Then, one sunny afternoon, something magical happened. Wendy let go, and Oscar didn't even notice. He was riding all by himself. A huge grin spread across his face as he pedaled a little further. "You did it, Oscar," Wendy exclaimed, running to give him a big hug. Oscar felt so proud, ready for many more adventures on his bike. Oscar and Bailey's park adventure. Oscar woke up with a happy wiggle. Today was park day. His best friend Bailey, a bouncy Springer Spaniel with floppy ears, wagged her tail so hard her whole body wiggled too. "Park time," Oscar cheered, grabbing Bailey's leash. Bailey barked a happy woof and pulled gently, eager to get outside. The sun was shining, and the air smelled fresh and green. Once they were inside, Oscar unclipped Bailey's leash. Zoom! Bailey was off, her long ears flying behind her as she raced across the wide, green field. She loved to run. Oscar laughed, watching Bailey chase after invisible butterflies and sniff every interesting bush. He loved watching her happy zoomies. Then, Oscar pulled out Bailey's favorite squeaky ball. "Ready, Bailey?" he called, and Bailey skidded to a stop, her eyes bright with anticipation. Oscar threw the ball high into the air. Bailey leaped and caught it mid-bounce, a true champion. She bounded back, tail wagging, and dropped the ball at Oscar's feet. Just then, a little squirrel scampered across their path. Bailey, always curious, tilted her head. The squirrel chattered, as if inviting them to play. Oscar giggled. "Looks like someone wants to join our game, Bailey." Bailey gave a soft woof, her tail giving a gentle thump on the grass. They spent the rest of the afternoon playing fetch and watching the playful squirrel. The park was full of happy sounds and sunny moments. As the sun began to dip low, painting the sky orange and pink, Oscar clipped Bailey's leash back on. They walked home, tired but full of happy memories from their park adventure. Oscar's badminton adventure. Oscar loved visiting his grandfather Don. Grandfather Don always had the best stories and the warmest hugs. But today, Oscar was excited about something else. "Grandpa, can we play badminton today?" Oscar asked, bouncing on his toes. Grandfather Don chuckled, his eyes twinkling. "Of course, little champion. Let's go." They went to the park, a sunny patch of green with a net already set up. Oscar gripped his small racket tightly, ready to play. Grandfather Don served the shuttlecock. It flew high in the air, a white blur against the blue sky. Oscar jumped, trying his best to hit it back. Thwack! Sometimes he missed, and the shuttlecock landed with a soft thud on the grass. Other times he hit it just right, sending it soaring back over the net. Grandfather Don was patient. He would retrieve the shuttlecock and gently show Oscar how to hold his racket or where to stand. They played for a long time, laughing when the shuttlecock went wild and cheering when they had a good rally. Oscar felt his muscles getting stronger with every swing. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park, Oscar hit a perfect shot. The shuttlecock flew over the net and landed right on the line. "Hooray!" cheered Grandfather Don, clapping his hands. "What a shot, Oscar. You're getting better every day." Tired but happy, Oscar walked hand in hand with his grandfather, already looking forward to their next game. Playing badminton with Grandfather Don was the best adventure of all. Oscar's Wish Tree Birthday. Today was a very special day. Little Oscar was turning 6, and his whole family was coming over to celebrate. He bounced with excitement, waiting for everyone to arrive. First to arrive were his mommy, Wendy, and daddy, Dick. They hugged him tight and presented him with a brightly wrapped gift. "Happy birthday, our little star," Mammy exclaimed. Soon after, Grandpa Don and Grandma Jessie arrived, their arms laden with delicious treats and another gift. "Our big boy is 6, Grandpa Don chuckled, ruffling Oscar's hair. The living room was soon filled with laughter and happy chatter. It was time for their special birthday tradition, the wish tree. Mommy brought out a small, potted plant decorated with tiny, colorful ribbons. "Now, Oscar," Grandma Jessie began, "think of one very special wish, something you truly, truly hope for." She handed him a small, leaf-shaped piece of paper and a crayon. Oscar thought hard. What did he wish for? He closed his eyes, then quickly scribbled something on the paper. He carefully hung it on a branch of the wish tree. After a delicious lunch, it was time for cake. A magnificent cake, shaped like a Pokemon, was brought out. Oscar's eyes widened with delight. He blew out the candles with a mighty puff, making another silent wish. Everyone cheered. As he cut the first slice, Mammy whispered, "Your wish might just come true, you know." Later that evening, as Oscar was playing with his new dinosaur toy, he noticed something special. A tiny, sparkling sticker of a dinosaur was stuck to the side of his toy. He looked at the wish tree. His leaf wish was still there. He smiled. Maybe wishes didn't always come true in a big, loud way, but in small, happy surprises. And that was even better. Oscarsaurus gets lost. In a lush, green forest lived a playful baby T-Rex named Oscarsaurus. He loved to play hide-and-seek with his family. One sunny morning he hid so well, he wandered a little too far from their usual spot. When Oscarsaurus finally peeked out, he realized he was all alone. The trees seemed taller, the shadows darker, and the forest suddenly felt very, very big. A tiny tear welled up in his eye. Just then, a whoosh of wings made him jump. A graceful pterodactyl named Ayala swooped down, landing softly beside him. "Are you lost, little one?" she chirped kindly. Oscarsaurus nodded, sniffling a bit. Ayala tilted her head. "Don't worry," she said. "We can find your way back. Let's look for clues together." She pointed her beak towards a winding path. As they followed the path, they heard a steady crunch, crunch, crunch. Around a bend, they saw Titus, a strong triceratops, happily munching on some ferns. He looked up, his 3 horns impressive. Ayana explained their predicament. Titus thought for a moment. "I saw a family of T-Rexes near the big waterfall this morning," he rumbled. "It's a tricky path, but I can lead you part of the way." So Oscarsaurus and Ayala followed Titus, who expertly pushed aside thick bushes and stepped over fallen logs. Ayala flew ahead, scouting from above, making sure they were on the right track. Soon, they reached a wide clearing. There, stretching her long neck to nibble leaves from the tallest trees, was Willow, a gentle brachiosaurus. She was so tall, she could see for miles. Oscarsaurus explained his adventure to Willow. With her incredibly long neck, Willow peered over the treetops. "Ah, yes," she trumpeted softly. "I see your family, little one. They're just past the waterfall." With a happy roar, Oscarsaurus raced towards the sound of his family. He gave Ayala, Titus, and Willow big, grateful hugs. He was so glad to be safe, and he learned that day how important it was to always stay close to his loved ones.